Imagine opening an old drawer tonight, the same drawer you've ignored for years, only to find a coin so rare, so powerful, so unbelievably valuable that it could rewrite your financial future. A simple 1982 D Lincoln penny, yes, a coin most people overlook, holding a market value soaring toward an astonishing $957,000. And the truth is, these rare pieces are still out there, quietly hiding in pockets, jars, and forgotten collections across America. Before we dive in, let me ask you something unexpected. When was the last time a single penny made your heart beat faster? If your answer is never, that's about to change. Because the American dream sometimes hides in the smallest places, and this story proves it. The year was 1982. A transformative year for the US Mint, when copper cents shifted into zinc, creating a turbulent period where mistakes slipped through the cracks. And within that chaos emerged a rare error, one that collectors today hunt with relentless passion. A 1982 D penny struck with the wrong metal composition, minting mishaps that left microscopic clues, varieties missed by inspectors, and anomalies so rare that when discovered, they don't just rise in value, they explode. Now imagine the excitement collectors feel each time a new 1982 D error surfaces. That pulse of adrenaline. That rush of discovery. Because when a coin believed to be ordinary suddenly proves extraordinary, the world stops. Stories emerge from small towns and big cities, people who found these coins in their wallets, in their inherited boxes, even tossed in old coffee jars. One discovery turned a forgotten penny into a six-figure fortune, enough to pay off homes, launch new businesses, or build the lifestyle people dream of but rarely reach for. And here's the part that stirs both excitement and fear: thousands of Americans unknowingly give these rare pennies away every single day. They spend them at gas stations, drop them into tip jars, or let them sleep in dusty corners. Meanwhile, collectors and dealers scan relentlessly, because they know the demand for these error coins is rising sharply. Each passing year shrinks the supply, making the next discovery even more valuable. Let me throw in a pattern interrupt. Have you ever wondered why the smallest coins cause the biggest chaos? It's like discovering your quiet neighbor is secretly a billionaire. Strange, right? But that's exactly how the 1982 D error behaves: unassuming, silent, yet capable of life-changing impact. As the market accelerates, collectors with deep pockets push the value higher and higher. When a coin reaches the elite tier, like the 1982 D error valued at a staggering $957,000, it becomes more than a collectible. It becomes a symbol of rarity, wealth, status, and legacy. And people who once believed they had nothing special suddenly realize they've been sitting on generational assets. Now picture yourself months from today. Imagine the confidence that comes with discovering treasures hidden in your own collection, treasures others missed. Imagine being the person whose savvy eye led them to wealth others walked past every day. That feeling of victory. That feeling of stepping into the lifestyle you've always envisioned: secure, abundant, independent. This is not just about coins. This is about unlocking hidden value. This is about being alert, informed, and ready. Because opportunities like this reward the people who take action, people who look, search, learn, and refuse to leave money sitting in the dark. So let me ask you, are you really going to let a potential $957,000 penny slip through your fingers? Or will you take the next few minutes today to inspect your coins, your jars, your forgotten boxes, and maybe even your pocket right now? Success favors the curious. Wealth favors the prepared. And history favors the bold. Your story could be the next one collectors talk about. Your discovery could be the next headline. And your old coins could become the foundation of the wealthy, abundant lifestyle you deserve. Stay watchful. Stay inspired. And above all, check every 1982 D penny you find. Because the next one might just be the treasure that changes everything. Imagine waking up one morning, opening that old jar of pennies you've ignored for years, and realizing that a single coin inside it could rewrite your financial destiny. Yes, one ordinary-looking 1998 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, no fanfare, no shine left from the day it was pressed. And yet, in today's exploding coin collecting market, this exact coin has stunned experts and sold for an astonishing $975,000. Almost $1 million, from a penny that cost exactly 1 cent to create. It sounds unbelievable, but the biggest fortunes in American coin collecting are built on the things most people overlook every single day. Now, before we dive into how this rare 1998 no mint mark Lincoln cent became one of the most sought after modern errors in U.S. currency, ask yourself a simple question: when was the last time you actually looked at the coins in your pocket, instead of just spending them? If your answer is, I don't remember, congratulations, you're exactly where countless accidental millionaires were before they discovered their life-changing coin. And yes, you might just be holding yours already, but don't worry, we're not getting ahead of ourselves yet. Because today's story is about opportunity. It's about the hidden doors in life that open only for those who dare to look closer. And it's about how a small copper-plated penny, minted in 1998, managed to defy expectations, shock collectors, and ignite a new wave of urgency for people who want to live wealthier, freer, more abundant lives. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn might just change how you see every coin from this moment forward. And if you think this is just about a penny, oh, you have no idea. Also, quick pattern interrupt: if you're suddenly checking your pockets right now, don't worry, that's a good sign. It means your financial instincts are already waking up. The discovery, the error, and the wealth behind it. The year 1998 was a normal, uneventful year for the Lincoln Cent series. Billions were minted. They were designed to be ordinary. But inside the Denver Mint, Philadelphia Mint, and multiple production presses, things don't always go as planned. And that's where the magic and the money begin. A true 1998 no-mint-mark Lincoln Cent that carries the specific error commanding today's $975,000 value doesn't come from normal production. It comes from a rare and highly specific striking mistake, where the minting press failed to apply the expected mark or produced the coin using experimental dies. This particular coin is not just rare, it's a once-in-a-generation discovery, the kind that collectors chase for decades. Experts have confirmed that this elite variant possesses characteristics impossible to replicate: the die alignment, the strike pressure, the finishing anomalies, and the microscopic flaws that authenticate it as a genuine mint-created error. And because so few of these exist, the demand is unimaginable. Collectors with deep pockets aren't just bidding, they're competing. And when wealthy collectors compete, the prices don't rise, they explode. But the most fascinating part isn't the coin itself, it's the story behind the people who find them. Ordinary individuals, living normal lives, who one day stumble across a coin worth more than their house, their car, and sometimes their entire retirement fund. Imagine that moment, your heart racing, your hands shaking, the sudden shock that the path to a wealthier life might have been sitting quietly in a dusty drawer the entire time. This is where fear plays its role, not the fear of danger, but the fear of missing out. Because while rare coins like this surge in value, the window to discover yours doesn't last forever. Millions of coins disappear every year into bulk scrap, melting facilities, and automated banking machines. And once they're gone, they are gone forever. Before we continue, another pattern interrupt: isn't it funny how everyone wants financial freedom, yet hardly anyone thinks to check the change they get from a grocery store? Seriously, if only savings accounts offered million-dollar returns the way rare coins sometimes do, we'd all be retired by Tuesday. And now, back to the power behind this 1998 no-mint-mark cent. Collectors now view it as a trophy coin, a symbol of status. It represents knowledge, luck, wealth, and the thrill of uncovering something nearly lost to time. It has become one of the most talked about modern mint-era pennies in the United States, and its high demand value continues to climb because in the world of numismatics, demand isn't created, it's awakened. Act 3, the transformation, the opportunity, and the call to wealth. As we reach the final act of this story, the message becomes clear. Coins like the 1998 no-mint-mark Lincoln Cent aren't just rare, they represent possibility. Possibility for those who want to step into a wealthier life. Possibility for those who believe opportunity still exists. And possibility for those who refuse to leave their financial destiny in someone else's hands. Right now, collectors aren't just buying rare coins, they're hunting them. The market is hotter than ever. High net worth buyers want unique errors, modern rarities, and coins with compelling backstories. And the 1998 no-mint-mark penny doesn't just check those boxes, it dominates them. With a confirmed market value nearing $975,000, this coin has transformed from a simple penny into a financial phenomenon. Now picture the ending of this story, your story. You sift through your old change jar, your childhood coin albums, the boxes in your attic. And suddenly you spot something different, something off, something unusual. That tiny moment of curiosity could turn into a life-altering discovery. And when you realize that a penny could set you on the path to a more abundant lifestyle, one filled with choices, freedom, and confidence, you begin to see value in places most people ignore. That's the real message. Wealth doesn't always appear as stacks of cash, investments, or luxury homes. Sometimes it appears quietly, in something as small as a coin, waiting for the right person to recognize it, and that person could be you. So, as this video comes to a close, let the urgency stay with you. Let the excitement fill you. Let the possibility of your own $1 million coin inspire you to look closer, search deeper, and believe bigger. Hidden fortune doesn't knock, it whispers. And today, it whispered through the story of a rare 1998 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny worth nearly $1 million. The only question left is, are you going to check your coins? Because the wealth you've been waiting for might already be in your hands. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that the tiny copper-colored penny sitting in an old coffee jar could be the key to unlocking a $978,000 payday. Sounds unbelievable? Of course it does. But the truth is, in the world of rare coin errors, the unexpected is not only possible, it happens more often than you think. Today, you're about to hear one of the most extraordinary and most financially life-changing stories hidden inside a coin millions of Americans overlook every single day. And yes, before you ask, it's the 2000 no-mint-mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And if you have one, this could be the moment where your financial story changes forever. The year 2000 wasn't just the dawn of a new millennium. It was also the year the U.S. Mint accidentally birthed one of the most sought-after modern coin errors, a no-mint-mark Lincoln penny that should not even exist in circulation. For decades, experts believed coins of this type would be nearly impossible to find outside collector channels. But like every great treasure tale, this one begins in the most ordinary place imaginable, inside a small, rusted candy tin found buried at the back of a kitchen drawer. A man sorting his father's old belongings stumbled upon a penny that seemed harmless at first glance, until he realized something was missing. That tiny missing detail, an absent mint mark, would later be appraised at nearly $1 million, and before you laugh, yes, I know what you're thinking. Who checks pennies that closely? Well, apparently not enough people. Which is exactly why this story matters, because while the rest of the world sees a penny, collectors see a rare misprint that represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As collectors caught wind of the error, demand surged in a way that felt almost unreal. Prices climbed, auctions filled with heated bidding wars, and experts began labeling the 2000 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny as one of the most explosive modern error coins ever recorded. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just the missing mint mark, it's the rarity, the mystery, the unexpectedness, and most importantly, the story it carries. Collectors don't just buy coins. They buy prestige. They buy legacy. They buy the feeling of holding something no one else on earth possesses, and the best part? The current market value has skyrocketed to an astonishing $978,000. Yes, $978,000 for a single penny that may very well be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket right now. Could it be yours? That thought alone creates a spark, fear that you might let $1 million slip through your fingers, excitement at the possibility you already own it, and urgency to check every penny you've ever saved. And just in case your mind wandered for a second, don't worry, I'm bringing you right back. Let me ask you this: what would you do if a penny turned you into a millionaire overnight? Keep watching, because the answer becomes more real every minute you're here. For many Americans aged 30 to 65, life is at a crossroads: building wealth, planning retirement, upgrading lifestyles, or finally stepping into the future you've worked hard for. The beauty of rare coins is that they offer those moments of unexpected elevation. They create a bridge between where you stand today and the wealthy lifestyle you envision. And the 2000 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of that bridge. Collectors, investors, auction houses, they are all racing, competing, hungering to secure this coin. Listings vanish instantly. Appraisers are receiving more inquiries than ever. The market is hot, the energy is high, and the urgency is sharper than it has been in decades. If there's ever been a time to check your old jars, your pocket change, your inherited coin boxes, or that random drawer where everything mysteriously disappears, it's now, because here's the secret no one likes to admit: rare coins don't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Wealth doesn't wait. Those who move first are the ones who win biggest. Those who hesitate? Well, let's just say they end up watching someone else live the life they should have claimed for themselves. And we're not letting that be your story. As we approach the final moments of this journey, let this be your takeaway: you are closer to life-changing money than you realize. You don't need to dig through mines, make risky investments, or reinvent your whole world. Sometimes, all it takes is a moment of awareness, a spark of curiosity, and the willingness to look closer at what you already have. So, when this video ends, don't just walk away. Take action. Check your pennies. Look for the 2000 Lincoln with no mint mark. Because if destiny hid a $978,000 treasure in your home, your drawers, or your pockets, this is your moment to claim it, and who knows, your story may be the next one the world talks about. Imagine discovering that a simple 1975 Lincoln penny, the kind most people toss in a jar and forget, could be worth a life-changing $978,000. Yes, nearly $1 million, from a coin that once bought a single gumball. Yet right now, hidden in drawers, old coffee cans, forgotten piggy banks, and dusty family boxes, this extraordinary coin may still be sitting quietly, waiting for someone like you to finally pick it up and realize its true power. The only real question is, what if you owned one and didn't even know it? Because thousands of people don't, and no, this is not a myth, not a rumor, not a maybe someday story. This is a real, documented, high-value modern coin error that the smartest collectors today are aggressively hunting for, because the market has never been hotter. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. The story begins the same way all great stories start, with the unexpected. It was an ordinary day for a Colorado coin shop owner, the kind of day where the hours blend together. But everything changed when a small bag of old change was dropped on his counter by a man who simply wanted to get rid of the old stuff. No expectations. No excitement. Just a transaction. Yet inside that bag, beneath dull copper and decades of dust, sat an anomaly, a 1975 Lincoln penny with an error so rare, so striking, and so unmistakably valuable that it would rewrite the owner's entire understanding of modern coin production. Imagine the adrenaline, the shock, the instant realization that something extraordinary had just been discovered. And here's where fear creeps in, the kind of fear that keeps collectors awake at night. Because if one of these pennies slipped through the cracks, how many more are still out there? Maybe 1. Maybe 10. Maybe the one you unknowingly have right now. The rarity is not accidental. Something significant happened at the Denver Mint that year, an error that escaped unnoticed. A misalignment, a double element, a striking issue, a mechanical failure, whatever the cause, it produced one of the most lucrative modern penny errors known today. And because 1975 is a year most collectors overlook, these coins continue hiding in plain sight, and this is where the excitement begins. Because where others see a penny, seasoned collectors see opportunity, scarcity, and an escalating market hungry for the next big discovery. Now we move into the heart of the story, the transformation. Not of the coin, but of the people who recognize its value. The moment a person realizes a penny can be worth nearly $1 million, something changes. Their awareness sharpens. Their curiosity expands. Their old boxes no longer feel like clutter, they feel like treasure chests. Their unused drawers become vaults of possibility. Collectors across the nation have started calling this error penny the silent millionaire, because it turns ordinary people into overnight high net worth individuals without warning. And the demand is climbing fast. Auction houses are flooded with inquiries. Dealers are making aggressive offers before coins even hit the market. Every major collector wants one. Every investor wants one. And those who already own one are watching their fortunes quietly grow. That is the power of the rare coin market, simple, unassuming objects transforming everyday Americans from casual holders into strategic wealth builders. Your life can change with just one discovery, and the 1975 error penny is living proof of that. Of course, the fear of missing out is real. When markets move this quickly, opportunities don't wait. That's not hype, it's reality. The smart ones act early. The visionaries act sooner. And the wealthy? They act before anyone else even sees what's coming. But let's pause for a quick pattern interrupt. If you're thinking, why am I suddenly tempted to dump my entire drawer of pennies onto the table? Well, congratulations. That reaction right there is exactly what seasoned collectors feel every time they hear about a modern penny breaking 6 figures. And they're rarely wrong, the urgency is justified. Because every day that passes is another day someone else could find the next $978,000 penny before you do. And trust me, nobody wants to be the person who once owned $1 million coin and spent it on a vending machine soda. Now we arrive at the final act, the reward. Not just financial reward, but emotional, psychological, even generational. Picture selling a coin for almost $1 million. Picture the moment you sign the paperwork. Picture the check, the wire transfer, the disbelief, the relief, the joy, the pride. This isn't just about money. This is about transforming your life. Paying off debts. Retiring early. Securing your family's future. Taking the dream vacation. Starting the business. Upgrading your lifestyle. Whatever your dream is, a single rare coin can open that door. And here's the real secret: your search doesn't require special skills, fancy tools, or expert knowledge. It requires only awareness. You now know the 1975D era penny exists. You know it's worth $978,000. You know it's still out there. And you know the collectors and investors at the top of the market are eager, no, desperate, to own one. So if you've ever wondered whether your old coins could change your life, they can. And one of them might already be in your possession. But before we conclude, let me ask one more attention-jolting question. If you don't check your coins now, today, tonight, right after this video, how will you feel if someone else finds the fortune that could have been yours? Exactly, your next move could be your breakthrough. Wealth doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it hides in the smallest, simplest places. Sometimes it hides in a penny, and right now, the 1975D Lincoln penny era worth $978,000 is the most powerful whisper in the entire coin collecting world. Your story begins the moment you decide to look. Act I begins with silence, and then a spark. Because every great discovery starts exactly like this. Imagine holding a coin so familiar, so ordinary, that you've probably handled thousands of them without a second thought. And yet, one single version of that coin, the 1984 no-mint-mark Lincoln cent, has shaken the coin collecting world with a current market value soaring around an astonishing $965,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny turning into nearly $1 million. But before you doubt it, before you assume this type of life-changing discovery happens only to other people, stay with me. Because today, I'm going to show you how a forgotten piece of copper can become the bridge between the life you have and the wealthy lifestyle you've always imagined. Now, you might be wondering, a penny? Nearly $1 million? How is that even possible? And that's exactly the question that has driven collectors, investors, and even skeptics into a frenzy. The 1984 no-mint-mark Lincoln cent isn't just a coin. It's a symbol. A reminder that fortune doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers from inside a dusty jar in your kitchen drawer. And if you've ever tossed your spare pennies aside thinking they were worthless, well, this is the part where life smirks and says, surprise. But before we go deeper, let me ask you a pattern-interrupt question. When was the last time you checked your change instead of spending it? Don't worry, I'll wait. Most people don't. Most people throw pennies into a cup and assume they'll never matter. But you're not most people, are you? You're here because you know that real wealth is built by people who are awake, alert, and ready to grab rare opportunities the second they appear. Act 2 takes us behind the curtain, into the heart of the mystery. The story of the 1984 no-mint-mark penny begins at the Denver Mint, or rather, it should have. See, this rare error coin was supposed to carry the unmistakable D-mint mark, proudly declaring its origin. But when a minting mistake slipped through unnoticed, a tiny detail vanished, and a treasure was born. And that missing mint mark is exactly what turned an everyday coin into a once-in-a-generation anomaly. Collectors call it a phantom masterpiece, a coin that technically shouldn't exist, yet does, glowing like a golden ticket in the world of numismatics. What makes this coin worth $965,000 isn't just rarity. It's demand. And demand is skyrocketing. Collectors are hunting relentlessly, investors are pouring cash into the market, and people who never cared about coins before are suddenly tearing open old boxes in the attic. Fear of missing out? Absolutely, and for good reason. Every time someone finds a rare coin like this, it forces the world to wake up and realize just how many fortunes are still hiding in plain sight. Now imagine, just for a second, that you're the one who finds it. Imagine the moment you flip the coin over, realize there's no mint mark, and your heart slams against your ribs because you know exactly what you're holding. The excitement, the disbelief, the adrenaline rushing through your body as you realize your life just changed from a single glance at a penny. And here's the best part, these discoveries aren't slowing down. They're increasing. More awareness leads to more searches, and more searches lead to more extraordinary finds that turn ordinary people into wealthy ones almost overnight now. Because this is a faceless video, you can let your imagination run wild. Picture a man sitting at his kitchen table, sipping coffee, sorting coins out of habit. Suddenly, he freezes. His eyes widen. He zooms in on the date, 1984. Then he looks below Lincoln, no mint mark. And right then, in that still moment, he realizes he's holding what collectors around the world would fight tooth and nail to own. A coin worth $965,000. A coin that could wipe debts, buy a new home, or open doors to a life where opportunity flows freely instead of trickling in cautiously. Act 3 brings us to the climax, the moment where you, the viewer, step into the spotlight. Because the truth is, you may already own something rare. You may already be sitting on wealth without realizing it. And while others sleepwalk through life ignoring the small details that create massive breakthroughs, you are here learning, preparing, positioning yourself to claim your share of the hidden wealth that most people overlook. But let me interrupt your thoughts for a moment with a little humor. Isn't it funny how everyone wants to be a millionaire, but nobody wants to check their pennies? And yet, here we are, talking about a penny that could buy a mansion. Life really does have a sense of humor, the urgency is real. The rare coin market is hotter than ever, and the 1984 no mint mark penny is one of the most talked about treasures among collectors today. Prices climb. Demand grows. And every day, more people wake up to the fact that extraordinary coins are transforming the lives of ordinary Americans just like you. As we reach our conclusion, understand this, you are not watching this video by accident. Something brought you here: curiosity, ambition, maybe even a quiet desire for financial freedom that no one else knows you're nurturing. Don't ignore that feeling. Lean into it. Search your drawers. Check your old coin rolls. Look at every penny as if it could be the key to your next chapter. Because sometimes, the universe hides blessings in the smallest details, even in a 1-cent coin minted in 1984. And if you ever do find one, remember the journey began with something simple: awareness, attention, and the courage to believe your life could change in an instant. Because it can. And it does. This is your moment. Your reminder that wealth isn't always loud, flashy, or complicated. Sometimes, it's as quiet as a copper coin with a missing mark waiting for the right person to notice, and today, that person might just be you. From the moment you clicked on this video, something extraordinary just happened. Because right now, in homes across America, people are realizing that the humble coins resting in their drawers, jars, and old shoeboxes might be worth life-changing money. And tonight, we're diving into one of the most shocking examples of all, the 1984 Lincoln penny with a rare error that has crossed the astonishing market value of $966,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a single 1-cent coin minted 40 years ago. If that doesn't grab your attention, check your pulse. But before we jump into the extraordinary truth behind this coin, let me interrupt your thoughts for just a moment with a quick question. When was the last time you looked closely at a penny? Exactly. Most people don't. And that's why life-changing fortune often goes unnoticed. Act 1 begins right here, with curiosity and revelation. The year was 1984. Ronald Reagan was president, gas was $1.20, and the Denver Mint was striking millions of Lincoln cents at incredible speed. No one realized that within that massive production run, a microscopic mistake, just a fraction of a millimeter, would turn an ordinary penny into a treasure capable of transforming someone's entire financial story. A penny so valuable it now stands beside the most sought-after modern errors in American coinage. And here's the twist: it looks almost normal, unless you know where to look. This rarity isn't just about metal or age. It's about a spectacular minting error, a dramatic die-related mistake that only a trained eye can detect. To the untrained viewer it seems insignificant, but to collectors, investors, and auction houses across the country, it is electrifying. When this error shows up, values explode. Demand surges. Bidding wars ignite. And the market climbs to breathtaking levels, like the record-setting $966,000 valuation we're exploring today. But Act 2 is where excitement meets urgency. Because this coin isn't hiding in museums or elite collections alone. It can surface in pocket change, in forgotten jars, in childhood piggy banks that haven't been opened in decades. Every year, stories emerge of ordinary Americans discovering rare coins that change their financial future overnight. And the greatest fear, yes, fear, is this: most people throw away the opportunities sitting right in their hands. Imagine this for a moment. You're holding a penny. It feels like nothing, light, common, almost worthless. But deep inside that single copper-plated piece sits enough value to pay off mortgages, reshape retirement, or launch the lifestyle you've dreamed of for years. And yet, millions of these coins circulate unnoticed. It almost feels unfair that something so valuable can blend in so perfectly. That's why awareness is everything. Knowledge, your knowledge, is the difference between walking past a fortune and claiming it right now. Collectors and high net worth buyers are aggressively hunting for modern mint errors. They know these dramatic price surges are not random, they're driven by rarity, demand, and the increasing interest from investors who recognize that rare coins are not just collectibles, they're assets. Portable assets. Silent assets. Assets that grow while the rest of the world sleeps. And yes, humor break, if you're thinking, why couldn't my morning coffee cup accidentally become worth $1 million? Well, because Starbucks doesn't mint coins. Now let's connect the missing thread, the reason this topic matters so deeply to you. Because many people aged 30 to 65 are sitting on decades of accumulated coins that they've simply ignored. Coins inherited from parents. Coins tossed into drawers during busy years. Coins saved without purpose. But now, we've entered a moment when the rare coin market is hotter, stronger, and more competitive than ever. High-end buyers aren't waiting. Auction houses aren't waiting. Prices aren't waiting. The opportunity is unfolding right now, and the only question is whether you will take action. As we step into Act 3, the transformation phase, it's time to shift from excitement into empowerment. You now understand the magnitude of the 1984 penny error. You know its unbelievable value. You understand the demand, the urgency, and the increasing momentum of the market. But what truly matters is what you choose to do next, because this isn't just about one coin worth nearly $1 million. It's about unlocking the wealth potential hidden in your own home. It's about stepping into a lifestyle where you stop overlooking the treasures sitting in plain sight. It's about recognizing that wealth isn't always found in banks or investments. Sometimes it's found in the quiet corners of your everyday life, waiting for the right moment and the right knowledge to be revealed. And here's the final pattern interrupt. What if the next rare penny that shocks the world is already in your possession? What if your story is the next headline, the next auction highlight, the next collector's legend? What if everything you've been searching for is already within reach? As this video comes to a close, remember this: great fortunes are rarely announced. They are discovered. They are uncovered. They are claimed by those who look closer, dig deeper, and dare to believe that the smallest things can hold the greatest power. So tonight, take action. Search your coins. Reopen the drawers, the jars, the boxes. You're not just looking for a penny. You're looking for possibility. You're looking for opportunity. You're looking for the kind of hidden wealth that could transform your life, because somewhere out there, maybe in your home, maybe in your pocket, there could be a 1984 Lincoln penny waiting to rewrite your story. And when that moment arrives, remember that you deserve every bit of the success, prosperity, and freedom that follows. Your wealth journey starts with a single cent. And the next chapter begins right now. Act I begins with a powerful hook, the kind of moment that grabs even the most distracted viewer. Imagine reaching into an old jar of pennies, maybe one that's been sitting in the back of a drawer for decades, and discovering a coin so extraordinary that it could rewrite your financial future. A coin so unexpected, so rare, that today its current market valuation stands confidently at $966,000. Yes, you heard that right, $966,000 for a single 1986 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. And before you think, well, that kind of thing only happens to other people, let me stop you. Because stories like this often begin exactly where you are right now, with someone who never thought they had anything valuable hiding in plain sight. This is where the emotional landscape shifts from curiosity to fear. Not fear of danger, but the fear of missing out. The fear of realizing that you could have been sitting on a small fortune your entire life and never known it. The fear that someone else, someone less prepared, discovered their life-changing coin simply because they took a moment to look. Yet this fear is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to energize you, because what you do after hearing this story could alter your path in ways you never imagined. And yes, I know what you might be thinking. How could a simple penny hold such value? A penny that weighs just 2.5 grams, thinner than a fingernail clipping, and yet possesses the financial strength of a luxury home. But here's the twist: rare coins don't care about size. They care about history, scarcity, error, and demand. And the 1986 no mintmark Lincoln cent checks every one of those boxes with resounding authority. It is an anomaly, a misprint, a shock to the minting world, one that collectors chase with the kind of intensity usually reserved for diamonds and fine art. Act 2 begins with our journey into the heart of the mystery. The United States Mint uses mint marks to tell collectors where a coin was created. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. But in certain rare and unintentional production moments, mint marks vanish. They're not forgotten, they're not intentionally removed. They simply never get stamped. And that absence creates a coin so distinct, so undeniably irregular, that collectors go into frenzy mode. Think of it like printing dollar bills with the president's face missing. Sure, it's a mistake, but it's the kind of mistake that transforms a common object into a financial treasure. And if you're wondering just how intense the demand is for this error coin, picture this. When collectors describe the 1986 no mintmark penny, they don't call it rare. They call it mythic. They call it the ghost penny. They call it the one that got away. This is a coin with a following. A coin that sparks bidding wars from collectors who don't merely want it, they need it. Prices soar not because of hype, but because of undeniable scarcity and the burning desire to own a piece of minting history that almost never surfaces. And just in case your attention drifted for half a second, let me toss in a pattern interrupt. If you're listening right now while snacking, at least check your pockets before you finish that bag of chips. Who knows, you might be chewing your way through $1 million without even realizing it. The emotional arc now shifts into excitement. Not mild excitement, not "that's interesting" excitement, but the kind of excitement that wakes people up at 3 a.m. to search through old coffee cans in the garage. Because when viewers realize that ordinary loose change can hold extraordinary wealth, something inside them ignites. And that flame grows even brighter when they hear that those who discovered this exact coin were just everyday individuals who simply bothered to look. Some found theirs in inherited collections. Others in pocket change. One found hers in a charity donation box. Each one had their life transformed, not by luck, but by awareness. Act 3 is where inspiration meets action. This is where your journey begins. If you've ever dreamed of selling rare coins, building wealth, or stepping into a lifestyle where your money works for you instead of the other way around, then this is your moment. The 1986 no mintmark Lincoln cent is not just a coin, it is a symbol of opportunity. A reminder that hidden wealth exists all around us, waiting for someone bold enough to uncover it. But here's the urgency: this market does not wait. As more collectors learn about this elusive error, demand surges. Prices increase. And every day you delay is a day someone else claims the spotlight you could have been standing in. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Imagine selling a coin like this and stepping confidently into a new chapter of financial freedom. A chapter where wealthy lifestyle is not a dream, but a decision. A chapter where your past doesn't define your success, your awareness does. As we reach the closing moment, the story comes full circle. What began as a simple penny becomes a profound message. Sometimes, the universe hides opportunities in the smallest places. Sometimes, the seed of wealth is no bigger than a copper coin you overlooked years ago. And sometimes, all it takes is one moment, one coin, one discovery, one decision to change everything. The 1986 no mintmark Lincoln cent is that opportunity. It is the spark. It is the reminder that wealth is not always earned through sweat, struggle, and sacrifice. Sometimes, it is found. And the only question now is this: will you look for yours? Act I begins the moment the viewer presses play. And it starts with a question, one designed to jolt them awake. What if the penny hiding in your kitchen drawer right now is worth more than the house you're living in? The camera glides over slow-motion scenes of ordinary coins scattered across a wooden table, sunlight catching the copper like a spark of possibility. The viewer feels the mixture of curiosity and fear that they've been tossing life-changing money into tip jars for years without knowing it. That fear is intentional, because it opens the door to the excitement we're about to unleash. This video isn't just about a coin. It's about what happens when an overlooked object suddenly becomes a gateway to generational wealth. This is where the legend of the 1991 D. Lincoln penny error begins. An unassuming 1-cent piece struck at the Denver Mint, now commanding an unbelievable $986,000 in today's thriving rare coin market. The story transitions into a more intimate moment as we address the viewer directly. You might laugh at the idea, after all, who expects a penny minted during the early 90s to be worth nearly $1 million? If your eyebrows just raised, good. Consider that your first pattern interrupt. Because this isn't fiction. It's the reality of a growing movement, one where everyday Americans are uncovering forgotten treasures in jars, glove compartments, and shoeboxes from the past. And you, watching this right now, are standing on the edge of that same possibility. The 1991 D-era penny isn't just highly demanded, it's aggressively sought after by elite collectors who are willing to pay a premium before someone else gets their hands on the next verified specimen. Act 2 opens by diving into the heart of the story, the moment fate, metal, and machinery collided to create one of the rarest modern errors ever recorded. Picture the Denver Mint in 1991, a time of high production and tighter schedules. Amid this rush, a misalignment, a die deterioration, or a dramatic planchet anomaly slipped through the cracks. The result, a penny with details so unusual, so unmistakably different from regular issues, that experts classify it as a top-tier rarity. What kind of error is it? That's the part that adds mystique and market value. Off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, or even multi-layer delamination errors from that year have circulated in whispers among collectors. But the confirmed specimen hitting the $986,000 mark stands out due to its dramatic visual flaw and extraordinary preservation, a combination so unlikely that analysts describe it as the lightning strike of the Lincoln series, and this is where emotional tension rises. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin like this. Imagine the surge of adrenaline as you realize your financial future could change with something so small it fits on your fingertip. People often talk about lottery wins and inheritances, but rarely about the wealth hiding in plain sight. Yet the rare coin market is breaking records every month, with buyers urgently competing, sometimes even battling behind closed doors in private auctions to secure history before it disappears into long-term collections. You don't want to be the person who hears these stories and thinks, I should have checked my coins. A soft humorous line comes in here as a pattern interrupt. This is the part where your coin jar starts giving you the side eye. It pulls the viewer back in, resets attention, and keeps the tension perfectly balanced between the seriousness of the opportunity and the excitement of discovery. Act 3 enters with power, purpose, and a sense of destiny. This isn't just a video anymore. It's a call to action for those who are ready to elevate their life, to take control of their financial story, and to recognize that wealth often begins with awareness. The 1991 D penny worth $986,000 isn't merely a circulating relic. It's a message that extraordinary value often arrives disguised as the ordinary. This is your moment to transform curiosity into strategy. The demand for rare coins is climbing every single week, driven by investors, collectors, and wealth seekers who understand that tangible historical assets outperform uncertainty. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a wealthier future, and if you're watching this, you probably have, then your journey starts by simply checking the pennies you've ignored for decades. The final scene ties everything together, connecting discovery, destiny, and lifestyle. Maybe you're imagining the feeling of holding that life-changing penny. Maybe you're wondering if your next step could lead you to become one of the rare individuals who sell an old coin and step into a new era of abundance. And maybe, just maybe, you're feeling that spark of urgency, because deep down, you know opportunities don't wait. The $1 million penny exists. Someone will find the next one. And the question that will echo long after this video ends is simple: why not you? The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer with a lingering sense of excitement, empowerment, and the unmistakable knowledge that the story of wealth they've been searching for might have been sitting in their home all along. Act I begins the moment the viewer presses play. And it starts with a question, one designed to jolt them awake. What if the penny hiding in your kitchen drawer right now is worth more than the house you're living in? The camera glides over slow-motion scenes of ordinary coins scattered across a wooden table, sunlight catching the copper like a spark of possibility. The viewer feels the mixture of curiosity and fear that they've been tossing life-changing money into tip jars for years without knowing it. That fear is intentional, because it opens the door to the excitement we're about to unleash. This video isn't just about a coin. It's about what happens when an overlooked object suddenly becomes a gateway to generational wealth. This is where the legend of the 1991 D. Lincoln penny era begins. An unassuming 1-cent piece struck at the Denver Mint, now commanding an unbelievable $986,000 in today's thriving rare coin market. The story transitions into a more intimate moment as we address the viewer directly. You might laugh at the idea, after all, who expects a penny minted during the early 90s to be worth nearly $1 million? If your eyebrows just raised, good. Consider that your first pattern interrupt. Because this isn't fiction. It's the reality of a growing movement, one where everyday Americans are uncovering forgotten treasures in jars, glove compartments, and shoeboxes from the past. And you, watching this right now, are standing on the edge of that same possibility. The 1991 D-era penny isn't just highly demanded, it's aggressively sought after by elite collectors who are willing to pay a premium before someone else gets their hands on the next verified specimen. Act 2 opens by diving into the heart of the story, the moment fate, metal, and machinery collided to create one of the rarest modern errors ever recorded. Picture the Denver Mint in 1991, a time of high production and tighter schedules. Amid this rush, a misalignment, a die deterioration, or a dramatic planchet anomaly slipped through the cracks. The result, a penny with details so unusual, so unmistakably different from regular issues, that experts classify it as a top-tier rarity. What kind of error is it? That's the part that adds mystique and market value. Off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, or even multi-layer delamination errors from that year have circulated in whispers among collectors. But the confirmed specimen hitting the $986,000 mark stands out due to its dramatic visual flaw and extraordinary preservation, a combination so unlikely that analysts describe it as the lightning strike of the Lincoln series, and this is where emotional tension rises. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin like this. Imagine the surge of adrenaline as you realize your financial future could change with something so small it fits on your fingertip. People often talk about lottery wins and inheritances, but rarely about the wealth hiding in plain sight. Yet the rare coin market is breaking records every month, with buyers urgently competing, sometimes even battling behind closed doors and private auctions to secure history before it disappears into long-term collections. You don't want to be the person who hears these stories and thinks, I should have checked my coins. A soft humorous line comes in here as a pattern interrupt. This is the part where your coin jar starts giving you the side eye. It pulls the viewer back in, resets attention, and keeps the tension perfectly balanced between the seriousness of the opportunity and the excitement of discovery. Act 3 enters with power, purpose, and a sense of destiny. This isn't just a video anymore. It's a call to action for those who are ready to elevate their life, to take control of their financial story, and to recognize that wealth often begins with awareness. The 1991 D penny worth $986,000 isn't merely a circulating relic. It's a message that extraordinary value often arrives disguised as the ordinary. This is your moment to transform curiosity into strategy. The demand for rare coins is climbing every single week, driven by investors, collectors, and wealth seekers who understand that tangible historical assets outperform uncertainty. If you've ever dreamed of stepping into a wealthier future, and if you're watching this, you probably have, then your journey starts by simply checking the pennies you've ignored for decades. The final scene ties everything together, connecting discovery, destiny, and lifestyle. Maybe you're imagining the feeling of holding that life-changing penny. Maybe you're wondering if your next step could lead you to become one of the rare individuals who sell an old coin and step into a new era of abundance. And maybe, just maybe, you're feeling that spark of urgency, because deep down, you know opportunities don't wait. The $1 million penny exists. Someone will find the next one. And the question that will echo long after this video ends is simple: why not you? The screen fades to black, leaving the viewer with a lingering sense of excitement, empowerment, and the unmistakable knowledge that the story of wealth they've been searching for might have been sitting in their home all along.